the time, if we got 20 of our friends in a room and we asked them, how many of you have ever purchased anything from a Facebook or Instagram ad? 4 people might raise their hand. 4 out of 20 have purchased from a Facebook ad. That's pretty damn, that might be on the higher end. That's pretty damn low. Mm-hmm. And so to think those exposures that we're tracking as bad impressions aren't doing anything, I think is wrong. And in the old days of advertising, you're like, okay, I want to hit you with a TV ad, I want to hit you with a billboard, I want to hit you with magazine, and those 3 exposures of this campaign, maybe that'll get you to start talking about us or thinking about us.
It almost used to be like the brands would, I still feel this way at conventions, but I feel like this with old marketing, is the brand, it was more of if a company had a billboard up, it was so they could pound their chest and be like, look at us, right? And seeing with conventions now, I feel like that's the prime result is how much bigger can we be than our competition just to boost our own ego, and they forget about the customer.
And exactly. And I think what we lost with this digital revolution was the mindset of how do we get this product in the hands of as many people as possible so they could tell all their friends about it. So actually the reason I bought ASRV is because Jake started wearing it and said this is the best joggers and shirts I've ever worn. And so I was like, okay, I've seen their ads, I like their stuff, I've been to their site, but I haven't clicked purchase because it was a $120 pair of joggers that my cheap ass is I can get the same thing on ASOS for half the cost. But when my friend tells me these are the best pants I've ever purchased, or my friend tells me this is the best protein I've ever used, or this is the best shirt I've ever worn, all of a sudden I'm willing to pay that.
Yeah.
And so what we're losing is okay, I'm going to let Facebook do all the work, but no one has my product yet, so no one's talking about it. Yeah. And that's where it really takes time in building word of mouth. My friends at Iconic, they do an incredible job where Mark Brazil, who's one of the founders of Iconic, he calls customers.
I saw that
almost on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Stephen Borelli, founder of Cuts, calls customer on a daily basis. In those early days of Movement, Spencer and I were DMing everybody on Movement. Someone commented, we were so grateful for their engagement, and that's how a community started to build. That's how people started to talk about it. You're never going to believe, the founder of Iconic just called me. Or when someone sees their art, it's the coolest brand, they actually called me. Or I follow them on Instagram and their content is amazing. And so getting people to talk about it in that way, then when people see those impressions, it's that much more impactful. But without a lot of that, it's really hard. And that's where a lot of the real work comes into play, because it's easy to hit the button on Facebook, let's just let this ride and hope it turns into a monster, which if you could do that, fuck yeah, that's the dream. Let's build this revenue stream while we're just kind of chilling, doing nothing, retire on an island, and just let that money roll in. That's everybody's dream. If you can do that, great. It does. Yeah. But it's hard. That's I'm all about probabilities. The probability of that happening versus spending 2 years hustling on the ground, getting in the product of influencers, people with good networks on college campuses, doing all that, and really just building word of mouth will only help your Facebook ads incrementally. When people are actually talking about it, people are wearing it. So it's all part of the hustle. And I think that gives you the best probability of really building something
successfully.
Yeah.
Nice.
My friends at Pure